have a controversial topic that I'm almost afraid to even discuss on a video, but I'm gonna do it anyways. And that is, should you use politics in marketing your law firm? Hi there, I'm Charley Mann with Great Legal Marketing, and I'm gonna go ahead and tread into these interesting waters real quick to dissect the idea and give you some advice, because even though I would love to give you just a blanket, no, run for the hills, don't use politics in your marketing, I actually wouldn't be telling the truth. There are, amazingly, a few opportunities that you can use politics in your marketing. Now, two caveats here. Number one, there is a difference between politics and principles. I'll talk about that in just a second. And number two, this is not for every practice area. Okay, so the general idea here is you first and foremost need to know your ideal client. You need to know the person that you are targeting, and if you know them well enough, that group well enough, you may indeed know their political preferences. Or honestly, your community, your region may be so steeped in a certain political preference that it is to your advantage to discuss politics. I mean, I'll tell you that we have an attorney up in Seattle, or in the Seattle area, who has a portrait of Barack Obama in his office. And he is unabashedly a fan. Here's the thing, it doesn't matter what your political preferences are, those are his political preferences and often the political preference of his clients. He also wants to live unabashedly as a fan of the Democratic Party. Great, that's awesome, totally works for him, his practice is doing great, obviously have no problems with it. But the problem is when people try and wield politics sort of offhand and use it as a cudgel against different communities, and they're not really thinking about the effect. But I also don't want to tell you don't be yourself. Because being yourself is actually important. And this is where we get into the politics versus principles discussion. Now I'll discuss some practice areas that can benefit from politics. So in discussing politics, I have found that the best way to talk about it are the principles of the matter. What are the principles that actually matter to you? Is, say, capitalism a principle that matters to you? A principle that can potentially be exercised in some cases on both sides. So there's a difference already where we start separating political parties and affiliations from principles. If you believe in picking yourself up by the bootstraps, and maybe some people would associate that, and again, making no qualifications here, with the Republican Party often, but you focus really just on picking yourself up by the bootstraps. You don't have to associate yourself with a certain party. You can focus on that simple principle alone without making it about a political preference. As a matter of fact, being able to talk about your principles, success principles, the ethics and morals of how you treat other people, that is immensely attractive to your audience. They want to work with someone that is bigger than the law, someone that has bigger ideas, bigger impact on the community. And so when you talk about these principles, that's the effect that you can have. Now, there are some practice areas that indeed can benefit from talking big politics. Politics with a capital P, federal politics. Immigration, for example. So right now, as I'm recording this video, Donald Trump is the president, and obviously there are some things going on in the immigration world that have some consequences for people that are seeking legal status. And of course, that's the main focus for an immigration practice. And so immigration attorneys have reason, again, no, I'm not saying good or bad reason, but they have reason to exploit that opportunity to talk about a bigger message. Whether they are for or against Trump, they should publish information that relates to these policy decisions. Estate planning is another great example. The way that the government acts will change estate plans, which means you should actually view it as a big opportunity, because whenever the government changes something, people need to change their plans to get them right, which means you have an opportunity to have repeat customers. And that is phenomenal, right? Okay, so immigration, estate planning is great. Bankruptcy has the opportunity occasionally to go into politics because the type of money that's being pumped into the system, whether it's something like the TARP program back from 08, 09, whatever it may be, bankruptcy can go into politics as well. Social Security disability often has to do with politics. We handle long-term disability, which is governed by ERISA, a federal statute. So If we really wanted to go in that direction, we theoretically could, but honestly, neither political party is doing anything with it right now, so we have no reason to tread into those waters. So instead, we keep our focus on principles, things like helping people be self-sufficient, and that has nothing to do with their political preference. We genuinely want people who come through our law firm to go out being more productive, feeling like they have a life ahead of them. That's the important principle for us, has nothing to do with political decisions. As a matter of fact, we teach both at Ben Glass Law and here, Great Legal Marketing, that the more you pay attention to those things, the politics of it all, the more emotional energy you're giving away to that, the less that you have to invest in your practice, and even worse, into the people who matter most to you. So for example, as I'm recording this, I have a 3-year-old daughter and a 7-month-old daughter. If I spent my time focusing on politics and being angry all the time because politics aren't going my preferred way, I wouldn't have the emotional energy for when my kids want to do something completely ridiculous. And I should let them do something completely ridiculous, but I don't want to, and so I don't give that energy away to politics, but I do focus on my principles like self-sufficiency, like discovery and learning. These are all principles that I live by, and those are bigger than any political statement. So I know this has kind of been a lot, and I've given out the blanket no at the beginning about politics and qualified it with a couple of practice areas, but gosh, I really just kind of want to end this saying, teach your principles. If you have a principle that you live by in life, own that principle. Teach that principle. And if you're looking for ideas on what's this whole principles thing, the recommended resource would be Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. That will help you align yourself, build out core values, and discover what it is that matters to you most and the things that you want to bring into this world through the platform that you have at your law firm. So big discussion, obviously. It's a discussion that we have with members, surprisingly enough, all the time, because we do talk about the principles that we teach. Ben teaches law success principles, and he teaches them through Ben Glass Law. And so a lot of attorneys have modeled that behavior in their own law firms and made their law firm about something bigger than just the law. And if you want to find out how to create a law firm that is bigger than the law, that has a big, bold thought behind it, that naturally attracts people to the practice, that just gets clients gravitating because they want something bigger than just a legal service provider, there should be some information up on the screen for you to go ahead and check out the Practice Power Tools program and Gold membership, where we talk about how to get more clients, how to make more money, and really design the lifestyle that you've always desired from your practice, whether that's scaling up to something huge or keeping it small but drawing more profit out of it. We've helped attorneys across the gamut achieve exactly that. So if you want to live a more vibrant, positive, and prosperous life, go ahead and check out this information about Practice Power Tools. And most of all, live your principles.